a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, BRimes.
And yes, here we go again, another day helping you as a consumer advocate. We've got some great stories to share with you today. You know, I really love the aspect of radio as a medium because I'm able to share stories, and we're really able to share impactful stories on ways that you can live a better life. That's what makes our show different. We're really focused on the positive side. We're focused on business tips, strategies, connections, being that super connector, helping you sort through a lot of the nonsense out there, a lot of the scams and bad advice that are so prevalent out there, in our community and the online community. We saw what happened, interesting, federal judge slapping down Google with some of their search engine. You plug in a search, you expect to get proper results. You don't. You get commission-based advice in a lot of cases. So that's what the show's about, helping you win in any marketplace. You can call our hotline, 727-263-3707. And that really makes my day, Alex, when I get these calls and that engagement with the audience, coming to our party as well on the 15th. I just love the engagement side of being on air now and a trusted advisor for 11 years now.
Yeah, it's so crazy, man. So, when I first came on the show, I thought it was cool just to be in studio and be in front of a mic and, get to talk and be around all these other, like-minded people. You don't often get around like-minded people, especially when you're like an entrepreneur and like motivation and hustle, minded type person. But then when I actually saw reach, like people started, hitting me up online or calling just because they heard the show, or they're like, oh, right, man, I watched your show. That's really cool. And I was like, man, this is crazy, dude. We really are reaching people, and you never know who you're going to touch and you're going to give that good advice to that's going to, make them be a little bit more apprehensive about just doing a deal with anybody.
Yeah, exactly.
In any industry.
Yeah, and it's all about that advice and that connection, being that super connector. So we've got 80 different categories. Ways that we can connect you to our attorneys, CPAs, financial advisors, all the best in the area. So we'd love to connect with you. Reach out on the hotline, consumerqb.com. We got Andrew Kube, US Commercial and Business Capital, back on the show. I wanted him to share. He's got a pretty special story where he was able to help a business owner, small business owner. We'll leave it at that for now, but great story coming up from Andrew Kube, US Commercial and Business Capital. And before we do, a couple of hot listings, and we got to talk about our 15th event. We always kick off the show plugging our next event. So we're going to be over at Tampa Bay Brewing Company Thursday, August 15th. Now, we're going to have first drink provided, appetizers, food provided, networking, happy hour, private tour of Tampa Bay Brewing Company. So come on out. That's over in the West Chase area at Monroe's Business Park. That's the street name right there in Tampa. And that always looks to be a good time as well. Couple of hot listings, and then we're going to talk with Andrew. So we got a property, Old Archer Road. This one's in Gainesville. So you've heard us talking about these pre-construction luxury condos available for sale in Gainesville. And what you're looking at is passive income in a lot of cases. These short-term rental properties, they pretty much run themselves. You have a cleaning crew come in if there's a short-term rental or situation there. And these are awesome opportunities. So you're getting 10% off retail pricing at Old Archer Road. It's Archer Place in Gainesville, Florida. And my team, BRimes and Lindsay Rimes, the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, we are the listing agent on this property. So we can help you with 90-plus units there. Now, the best part, 1 mile from the University of Florida, 5 minutes, Shands Medical, Butler Plaza, high-end luxury amenities in the building. You're talking about a state-of-the-art pool, fitness facility, Pelotons. You've got resort-style temperature-controlled pool accompanied with cabanas and grills, gourmet kitchen in the clubhouse, so you can have your parties at the clubhouse. Great investment opportunity. Old Archer Road, Gainesville, Florida. Another one of our hot listings. All right, taking you over to Pinellas County beaches now. Check this one out. 221 Howard Drive. Beautiful $3.4 million property. This one is right 1 block from the beach. So you're literally walking to the end of the street and you're on the beautiful sugar sand beaches and dolphin-filled waters of Bel Air Beach, Florida. One of the most exclusive zip codes in the entire state, 33786. You got a 5-bedroom, 3-bath, 3,500 square foot single family home here at 221 Howard Drive, Bel Air Beach, Florida. You can see all of our real estate listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, so we're going to bring in Andrew Kube and have a story with him now. And I wanted to get into the rent replacement program. That's one of the best that I really love. But tell me about this recent success story that you've had or in the process. And just I love how you we're able to take it the next step, take it to the next level where maybe a lot of other agents or brokers might have just kind of said, good luck and try to find something. Andrew Kube, welcome to the Quarterback Show.
Hey, thank you, Brandon. Great to be here again. And yeah, we have a great story. It was actually it was a referral from your team, and we have a client out in Riverview, and it's a great story. There's a lot of banks out there don't work with startup businesses, and that's one of the things that I do. And so I have a client that he's ASC, or we have a client that's an ASC certified mechanic. He's been with Tire Kingdom for 18 years, and he wanted to start his own business. And so he found a property in Riverview. It's a perfect location for his business. And he's looking to buy the property, get money to rehab the property, get money for working capital, and then get a lot of money for equipment to be able to run this shop like he would like to. It's a tire shop. They also do oil changes, new and used tires, rotation, headlights, brake lights, air filters, cabin filters. So it's a great business. He's got a lot of experience, and we're happy to help him start his own business.
I love that. And when you took it to the next level of saying, hey, here's how we can help you. Here's some resources at the college that may be to assist you. They helped him write his business plan. They helped him with the whole planning process, because I think that's an important point, right?
Absolutely. So as a taxpayer, we pay for, there's a service out there called the Small Business Development Center. And our client, he speaks English, but he feels more comfortable speaking in Spanish. So what we were able to do, we found him a Spanish-speaking man there that was able to sit down with him and help him with his business plan and help him with his projections. And they're very professionally done. So there's a service out there if you're starting a business to be able to get business plans done and sit down with someone that has an MBA and has a lot of experience in writing business plans. And it's a free service for taxpayers. And it's a Small Business Development Center.
Yeah, I love that. That's awesome. So we're talking with Andrew Kube, U.S. Commercial and Business Capital. And a lot of times when I'm talking now, because this is what I love about the synergistic relationships that you can develop in real estate and business, is that when I talk to Andrew and he's telling me that the government set aside $5 million for every small business owner in America, my wheels start spinning. As a real estate agent and a licensed salesperson, I'm talking to people every day. So I've always wanted to try to figure out where are the niches, where are the underserved communities, or maybe where the information doesn't flow quite as freely. We just need to get more information to people to develop transactions, especially in a softer market. You're going to need to work a little bit harder on the softer market. You're going to need to make the extra phone calls. Now, what I like to do, and I was talking with Alex about this prior to the show, is when you think about people that own businesses and they're looking to maybe they have a home-based business, but then they also are having a tenant. They're going to be a tenant. They're going to have a landlord relationship. I think sometimes people lose track of what that looks like, feels like, and is like. So I wanted to have Alex just tell a little bit about, because he's got his BlackBelt Fitness and Martial Arts, where he's, training people, and he's been through the whirlwind of, having these situations in these landlords.
Yeah, man. So I literally went from scratch. I started kind of initially teaching off-site once a week. I would go. I was fortunate enough to have a connection where I could rent a room once a week to teach a boot camp style class. That's how I got started. And man, that class started to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And I needed where I can get more than once a week. I needed parking, so I went on the hunt. How all entrepreneurs do to find land, find a location, find what I could do. And I found a warehouse spot that at the time was a great, or what I thought was a great startup location pre-COVID, and it was nice. on the outside, but then you get in and you sit there and you're under the mercy of however that landlord is, and then that becomes a challenge, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, because especially I'll say it the way that what my location was overseen, I should say, like I was clean, but then the others around me, they were, and it takes away from your business. It can actually hurt your business if you're not in. Everybody thinks that you want to get like that strip mall location.
Right.
That's not always the case. Because even though my business is clean and done well, the others around me, that falls upon you. So like the other mechanics and stuff that were next to me, they weren't clean. The parking was a mess. Foul language. It was just bad. It was bad. So even though my business was awesome, it was a fight and a struggle. And the landlord, he didn't help much. They kind of like, look, you just pay your rent every month and that's it. And then it's like, hey, bro, there's these guys next door bringing in rats. Oh, well then, they got to take care of it.
Right.
No, you're the landlord, bro. You got to take. What are you talking about? And it's such a fight. People don't understand the struggle of business like that aspect.
So to circle that back around, Andrew, I want you to go ahead and follow up with that story. What we would say to folks that are in that position and they want to own.
Yes. So it's always better to own the real estate. If you look at how much money that you're paying your landlord every month, multiply that by 12 months, multiply that by 5 years, multiply that by 10 years, and then think about all the money that you could have put in your pocket and see what you're really losing. That's the first thing that I would say.
And you're at the mercy of that landlord as well,
Yeah.
Yeah, rents are going to go up. I had a client recently that was paying out, $8,000 a month in rent. He'd been there for 5 years. He was paying out close to $100,000 a year, and not putting that money back in his pocket. So the way I look at that, that's a $200,000 swing, and he's been there for 5 years. And so, there's a program out there called the Rent Replacement Program, and it's for business owners that are out there that are currently leasing their real estate. They can buy commercial real estate for their business for no money down. And the way that it works is you have to be in business for 2 years. You have to have, your credit scores have to be good, but not great, but they have to be good. And you have to be able to show a profit on your tax returns. And then what we do is we add your rent back because the rent's going away, and that's how you can get in for no money down. And you can actually walk away with money at the closing to help your business grow all at the same time, which is really amazing. And the government has set aside $5 million for every small business. So if you're a business that can scale and go to other locations, other areas, then there's an opportunity for you to buy real estate at each location. Now, once you own the real estate, it's going to be 10% down the second go around. But what happens is, let's say you're buying a property for $1 million as an example, and you need 200 in equipment for your new location, and you want 100,000 in working capital. Well, you're doing a loan for 1.3, putting down 130,000 in that scenario, but you're walking away with 300.
Yeah, I love it,
so
man.
You're walking away with more money that you start with on every location as you grow. So that's how you use the $5 million. But there's tons of working capital programs out there for existing businesses. If you're going to start a business, it's better to own the real estate from the beginning of the process because it's all based on projections. An SBA loan is a projection-based loan that allows you to, if you have an idea, you have a plan for growth, then there's money out there for you to get it as long as you have a good plan and the numbers make sense.
Yeah,
and that's what I do is I help business owners get money to start a business, grow their existing business, franchise, and to even buy a business.
Right on. Andrew Kube, US Commercial and Business Capital. He can help you there with your improving your business's look as well, and the exit strategy. When you own the real estate, you have a much stronger exit strategy as well. Years down the road, potentially you work hard in this business. You want to have something to show for it when you sell it. And we can help you cash out on the sales of your business as well. So we can help you buying, selling real estate, investing in real estate, the lending side, U.S. Commercial and Business Capital. Andrew is the best in that line. He can broker to a lot of different lenders. That's a key factor there as well. We're going to talk about that on the flip side of the break. Short break. We'll be right back here. Consumer Quarterback Show online at consumerqb.com, at BrandonRimes1, at CQB Show. And please subscribe to the YouTube and Rumble channel. Greatly appreciate you. Right back. More on these consumer advocate tips and more coming up later on. We also have a feel-good story. MacGyver-minded officer saves toddler from bottom of 10-foot hole with a makeshift catapult. Cool story coming up. Also, we've got attorney Frank Miranda in the house coming up here as well. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
This is Work Done, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rimes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 727-263-3707. Online at consumerqb.com.
Dennis Prager here for Brandon and Lindsay Rimes, owners of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams. Buying, selling, investing in real estate, their nationwide Keller Williams network makes them the best team to work with. Sellers, have your property featured live on air, creating multiple offers. Buyers, leverage a unique system that gets your offer accepted, never overlooked. Call or text 813-750-0550, 813-750-0550, or consumerqb.com.
Lindsay Rimes here with Archer Place in Gainesville, Florida. Our luxury condo community is located only 1.5 miles from the University of Florida, 5 minutes to Shands Medical and Butler Plaza. Our buyers love the high-end luxury amenities in their building, including a state-of-the-art fitness facility equipped with Pelotons, the resort-style temperature-controlled pool accompanied with cabanas and grills, and the gourmet chef's kitchen in our clubhouse that overlooks the pool. We have pre-construction pricing only for a limited time, with floor plans ranging from a 1-bedroom, 1-bath to 2-floor penthouses with plunge pools. Starting in the low 400,000s to the high 900s, investors, parents sending their young adults off to school, medical professionals, business owners, and entrepreneurs alike are investing in these residences. Reach out to us today at 727-263-3707 to get more information.
You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rimes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, Brandon Rimes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team. Andrew Kube on the phone with us, U.S. Commercial and Business Capital, talking about business owners and ways that they can access $5 million. The government has set aside $5 million. Think about that for every small business owner in the country. And you can buy up to 100% financing with, of course, qualifying credit and things of that nature. But yeah, more with him here in just a minute. 719 7th Street North. Great opportunity to own real estate in St. Petersburg. Beautiful St. Pete property. This one is 1,300 square feet, 2-bedroom, 1-bath, plus a bonus room. Close to downtown, close to the beaches, real wood flooring, high ceilings, and a stunning fireplace here at 719 7th Street North, St. Petersburg. I don't know. I heard a rumor some of the wood might be from Noah's Ark. I'm not sure about that. We got to verify that. 14135 Cypress Circle, right here in Carrollwood Village. Beautiful property in the heart of Tampa Bay. This is in Carrollwood. People love the Carrollwood area. This one's 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-carport. You have 1,308 square feet, single-family home. 14135 Cypress Circle in Tampa, Carrollwood Village. Beautiful property. You have a community pool, gorgeous on the inside, lighter colors that you'll definitely love to see firsthand. Check it out. Schedule a showing. See our open houses. Every weekend we have lots of open houses going on and opening up our inventory. And you can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, quick shout out to Brio Tuscan Grill, International Plaza Mall, longtime friend of the show. It is my restaurant partner, our restaurant partner for the Consumer Quarterback Show, Tampa International Plaza Mall. Excellent food, wonderful ambiance, and very friendly wait staff. Super cool staff in there. Great bartenders. Happy hours available. Brio Tuscan Grill. Make sure you let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you and that you heard about them right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, Andrew QB. Without further ado, give us a little insights into what you're looking for, who you're looking to work with right now.
Yeah, so right now we're working with people that are looking to start businesses, We're working with people that are in the process of buying other businesses. So I'm working with those clients. I'm working with clients that are franchising, working with the franchisor, helping their franchisees. So if you're looking to start a franchise, I can help you with that funding. If you're looking to grow your existing business. And then on the other side of our business, we work with investors. So if you're out there looking to grow your portfolios, whether you're a residential or a commercial real estate investor, or if you're just anybody out there that needs money to grow your business, you're not interested in real estate or you need money to put down on different projects, then I could help direct you in that way as well.
Yeah, I like that. And when you think about the opportunity right now and the way the market's kind of sitting, I think you're going to be able to negotiate heck of a deal. Matter of fact, I know you'll be able to negotiate heck of a deal with commercial buildings. I mean, if you look at the commercial space and the challenges in the economy, the inflation, and some of the issues out there, businesses, of course, restructuring due to work from home type scenarios, you're able to negotiate all types of concessions. You're able to negotiate repairs into these contracts, and the sellers are willing to negotiate right now, Andrew.
Absolutely. I see sellers now even holding second mortgages or coming behind the bank and holding paper. So, they are willing to do anything in a lot of cases to sell their properties.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Andrew Kube, U.S. Commercial and Business Capital. Thanks for spending some time with us, and think about the opportunity that you have to reach out to him or any of our expert contributors, all types of great attorneys, CPA, financial advisors, home service providers, top-notch home service providers, of course, title companies, mortgage experts, contributors, many, many different ways. Mike Murphy in the auto industry space as well. Great title companies you can work with. We can help you no matter what you're looking to do. 727-263-3707. Call or text the hotline, 727-263-3707. Also online at consumerqb.com. Online at consumerqb.com. Andrew, thanks for spending some time with us, my friend.
Thank you, Brandon. You guys have a great day.
And how do you want people to connect? US CB Capital, was it?
Yeah, USC for commercial, B for business, uscbcapital.com, or they can reach me at 727-296-8650.
8650. Awesome. All right, good stuff. Thank you. Appreciate you.
All right, thanks, Brandon.
All right, my pleasure. Yeah, had some good calls this morning too, man. As you know, I make a lot of calls, Alex. Doing the cold calling on the expireds and canceleds, and it was great because I had a recruit with me that's looking at joining the team. We need a Spanish-speaking agent on the team, and because every now and then I come across these sellers that are in español, and I say un poquito español, mi amigo, and then but it was great, man. I had my recruit there. I said, hey, talk to him in Spanish. We were talking about that earlier. This area is growing big time in the Spanish numbers, isn't it?
I mean, it has so for a long time, and especially Spanish. You got to learn how to speak it, guys. If you're living down here in Florida, or have a good co-pilot with you that can be your wingman or wingwoman that can speak either language for you.
Yeah, and it just a little bit. Even if I can just get to the point where talking about the casa and the land and the to buy, to rent, to sell. You get the basics going, and then you can get to a point where you can hand it over to a referral agent.
You can build, for sure.
Yeah,
you can build.
Exactly. Build on it. Yep, good stuff. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to talk with attorney Frank Miranda in the house, longtime friend of the show. He is a wealth of information in all things real estate, litigation. He's actually a litigator. He'll go to the courtroom and litigate. We also have some feel-good story coming up for you as well. I really like this one. Kind of a throwback to MacGyver-minded officer. I love the way that sounds. Remember MacGyver back in the day?
Oh, I love MacGyver.
What a great show, man.
One of my favorites for sure.
Yeah, super cool. But officer is going to save a toddler from a 10-foot hole. Feel-good story coming up. Attorney Frank Miranda in the house. Follow us online at Brandon Rhymes 1 at CQB Show. And please subscribe to YouTube, Rumble, all of our different channels out there. And check out our current events. We're doing a lot of public speaking these days as well. And we'll see you on Thursday, August 15th as well. Coming up, Frank Miranda, Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show. We're powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, always helping you sell faster for more money, maximizing the exposure and the profit on the sale of our real estate listings. We've got attorney Frank Miranda joining us in studio here. We're going to talk with him about some recent success stories, also different situations where hey, look, sometimes the sellers say, hey, I'll hold paper. What does that mean? What are the implications? And I wanted to warn also about some of these scams that we're finding whenever I'm making these calls on expired, canceled listings. A lot of these wholesalers and these investors, what they'll do. So we're going to talk a little bit about the legal ramifications on that side as well. Coming up here with attorney Frank Miranda. Feel-good story coming up later on the program as well. Before we do, a couple of hot listings here. We've got 18522 Gulf Boulevard. Gulf Boulevard, beautiful property right here, Indian Shores. This is Pinellas County. You got 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,000 square foot, $1 million listing from the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. Beachfront condo in Indian Shores. You have your private 2-car parking area. Lots of updates inside. What I love is the balconies. You've got 3 different balconies. So if you look out to the right-hand side, you're looking at the intercoastal waterways, the Tom Stewart Causeway going over to the beach. And if you look out the left-hand side, you're looking at the Gulf of Mexico, sugar sand beaches, dolphin-filled waters, beautiful Tampa Bay, Pinellas County, 18522 Gulf Boulevard, Unit F, Indian Shores. Beautiful listing from our team at Keller Williams Realty. 5601 Blackfin Drive. Great listing here in Newport Richey, Pasco County. 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 1-car garage, 1710 square foot, 3-story townhouse. You have a covered lanai, fenced deck, and brick pavers. Beautiful property, great opportunity to own real estate. You have beach access too with this community, Gulf Harbors community, 2 community pools, fitness center, private dog park, beach access through membership. Downtown Newport Richey's charm, a plethora of shopping and dining options just minutes away. Check out 5601 Blackfin Drive, Newport Richey, Florida. Great opportunity. You can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, and I got to give a quick shout out to my friend Lee over at Lee's Royal Services. He does a great job cleaning our real estate properties. Lee'sRoyalServices.com. You can check him out online. Lee is also a handyman, so he can knock off some of those light handyman type things off of your list, mostly cleaning, grout cleaning, things like that. Lee'sRoyalServices.com. Home and office cleaning. He does a great job. Make sure you let him know the real estate quarterback sent you. Take him up on those special offers. All right, attorney Frank Miranda, welcome back, sir.
Thanks for having me back, Brandon. Great to be here.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. Always a good conversation. Let's jump right into it. When you get into real estate, sometimes you get in situations where it makes it easier to move a property, especially in a softer market like we've seen and we're coming out of. I think we're coming out of it. We're going to be seeing a reduction in interest rates, I think, coming up soon. But sometimes people want to hold paper. Sometimes people are reluctant to hold paper, and meaning hold a private mortgage themselves, or the mortgage is in the owner's name. Can you kind of set the parameters there for us about that?
Yeah, so how the situation comes about is you have a buyer that comes to a property, and perhaps they don't qualify for a traditional mortgage. Perhaps they don't qualify for a VA loan, or they don't qualify for FHA. But they have, let's say they have 20% down in cash. And so the seller could say, what I'll do is this. You put the 20% down, and you make payments to me like I'm the bank for the remainder of the amount. The benefits to that could be great, right? So savings account today might be 4-5%, and maybe you can negotiate, they pay you 8% on your money. So instead of selling the house to someone else at the same price, effectively, what you can do is you become the bank. They make monthly payments to you. You can charge a higher interest rate. You then can deposit that into another interest-bearing account, and now effectively you've turned that money, and now it's making 12% for you. The downside would be if you're opposed to any kind of litigation or risk, this is probably something not for you. However, I will say this: if you're the only mortgage on the property, or you're the first kind of mortgage on the property, if they don't make the payment, then you see someone like myself and we foreclose on the property. Through that process, you have the opportunity to either get paid off by another investor when it goes to the foreclosure sale, or you end up with the property and you can sell it again. So if you're patient and you understand how the process works, I've come across and represent a lot of clients that do it, and they've made a lot of money.
Yeah. Exactly. I remember one that comes to mind. I sold a property in Tampa I believe it was on Nebraska, I think it was. It was an interesting business. He had a rag business. What a niche, right? Right after COVID hit, he's like, hey, everything's slowing down.
I might know that guy.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk off air about it, I guess. But he had a rag business, and I sold it. And the seller said, or the buyer comes and says, "Hey, we'd like to do a deal where he can hold paper for us." And so they proposed it. We probably bounce it off you, maybe getting the insights on what do we need to look for. And I think your title company will write the mortgage as well. So kind of walk us through that.
Yeah, well, Drami. So what we do is the law firm handles pretty much the closing. We don't have a separate title company, and so what we'll do is, based upon the terms that the parties agree upon, whether it's the interest rate and the amount and the term, how long it's going to last for, we will draft all the documentation just like a bank would a traditional mortgage. We draft it up, and once it gets executed and signed and we handle the closing, we record it. You're going to be first in position, and theoretically, the worst case scenario is they fail to make a payment, then you go ahead and you foreclose on the property. Meanwhile, you kept the money that they paid you, which, the amount of money down, plus any monthly payments they made you before they started missing.
Right.
And then, at that point in time, if it goes to foreclosure sale, the highest bidder gets the property. But once you do it correctly, you're guaranteeing yourself that if a third party walks in and outbids you and gets the property, you're getting paid off the amount that you owed.
Right.
So you're not out, okay? And if someone comes in and does not bid up to the amount that you're owed, you get the property back. And so once you get the property back, you can, call your local real estate professional, Brandon Rhymes, list it, resell it again, and do the whole thing all over again.
Yeah.
I mean, I've come across people that literally sold
the same
commercial properties 10 times.
Wow. The most I've heard is 3, I think.
I've seen 10 times.
Yeah. Wow.
And there were always these, that scenario, there are always these bar restaurant kind of places,
Got
right?
it. High
and
risk.
Everybody wants to have a bar and a restaurant. Everybody thinks theirs is going to go. And you know what? Over the course of 40 years, he sold the same property 10 times. I'm like, you just turn a property worth, and I'm going to make the numbers up.
Yeah.
If it's worth $300,000, he just made $3 million without even the interest that was accruing.
Right.
And so he made a fortune off that property.
Yeah, exactly. That's the beauty of real estate. If you just joined us, we're talking with attorney Frank Miranda here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes. And let's switch gears too and talk about a different thing that I see happen, and kind of a consumer advocate idea, keeping in tune with the show. Consumer advocacy here is what we talk about. The sellers, a lot of times, once they have a property that expires off the MLS, canceled listing, expired, they will get bombarded by realtors. There's going to be investors calling. There's going to be wholesalers. And here's the scam. Here's the deal. Here's what they'll do. And by the way, this is the same thing you'll pay $10,000 for a course by, insert big name person, and they go to the arenas downtown or some big room somewhere. You pay $10,000 for this. Basically what they're doing, Frank, and you've seen it 1,000 times, they'll come in, they'll sign up the property, they'll go set up an appointment with the seller. They'll go in and say, hey, what's the money you want for it? They'll negotiate a price. They'll put together an as-is residential real estate contract, as is, approved by the Florida Bar and all that good stuff, right? But they'll do one key thing. They'll check the box that says assignable. Now, once they've checked that box that says assignable, what does that mean from a legal standpoint, Frank?
Okay, so once a party has entered into a contract, and at this point we're talking about the buyer, when that contract becomes assignable, he can transfer his right to anybody else they want to. It can be an entity, it could be an LLC, a corporation, it could be Joe Smith, it can be anyone he wants to assign that contract to.
Yep.
Now, so why would you ask, if you're listening, why would someone do that? Because if they assign it, they're getting something back for it.
Yeah. And
so in theory, the contract to purchase the property is below market value.
Yep.
And so whoever is accepting the assignment, the new buyer, is paying the first guy who couldn't negotiated the deal, paying something for that assignment.
Yeah.
Okay, it's typically, a few $1,000s.
Yeah. It could be a lot more too.
And it could be a lot more depending on how good the deal is. So if the property's worth $1 million and he has it under contract for $700,000, he can sell it for a lot more.
Yep.
And the person steps into his shoes and buys a property for the $1 million or for $700,000 when it's worth $1 million.
Yep. And then they're going to get that assignment fee. Typically, is the verbiage that they'll use, right? $10,000,
Correct.
$20,000, $30,000.
It's an assignment fee.
Now, here's where some of these companies will do kind of the gray area / just straight up, in my opinion, it's unethical. What they'll do is they'll create an addendum that says, oh, well, we can put it on the MLS even though we're not the owner, which technically you're not supposed to do. You have to be the owner in order to put it on the public multiple listing service, the MLS. So that's what I see, and that's where some of these sellers, they'll be so frustrated because they just got out of that cancellation, or they canceled the contract the listing contract, that is, with these unethical type of unscrupulous types of wholesalers and flippers. So that's the challenge that we see sometimes.
Yeah, so wholesalers and flippers, they're a little bit different, right? A flipper is the kind of guy that's going to buy a property that's in really bad repair. He's going to come in, he's going to put money into it, he's going to improve the property, he's going to enhance the value, he's going to sell it and keep the profit, right?
Yeah.
So the wholesaler comes in and he's going to find someone that needs cash quickly, typically. Someone that may have inherited a piece of property and just wants to dump it as quick as possible without going through the process of trying to get the highest and best price and keep it on the market for 90 days or whatever.
Yep.
Now there's some very unscrupulous people that do that, and there's some people that actually they're a benefit to the consumer if they're doing it correctly. If they're doing it correctly, some guy says, "Look, I understand this property's worth make a number up $200,000. I'm going to sell it today for $150."
Yep.
Because I need the money today. I don't need the money in 2 weeks.
Yep.
Okay. If they close and they do what they're supposed to do, then it's a benefit to the consumer because you know what? You paid, you knew you gave away money, but you needed the money today.
Yep.
Those situations occur.
Distress situations.
Right. With that being said, what you're talking about is deceiving the seller.
Yeah.
And deceiving the seller is, it's a criminal act. It's never going to be prosecuted because the police don't really understand how to write it up, and prosecutors really don't know how to deal with it because they're used to dealing with just, let's deal with the violent crimes and the drugs and that kind of thing.
Right.
So that's the kind of crime that gets overlooked a lot.
Yeah.
Just because the resources are placed on other priorities. So in that scenario, they're definitely deceiving somebody. They're doing something they didn't inform the other person that they were doing. Or what they're doing is they're putting them under duress. And duress is a situation where they've already signed a contract. Here's the addendum. If you don't sign this addendum, I'm walking away from the deal and you're back to square one.
Yeah. Yeah.
But those are very difficult cases, even on the civil side, to pursue because it's hard to prove duress.
Right. Yeah, totally get it. There's a lot of subjectivity there. All right, Frank Miranda in studio with us. We're going to give an update also to a successful update on a trial that he had, share a story, recent success story. You might talk a little about the Olympics coming up lately, coming up in the next segment as well, coming up with Frank Miranda, attorney Frank Miranda, that is, FCM Law right here in Tampa Bay. You can check him out online, fcmlaw.com. And also on the flip side, we got our feel-good story of the day. We got a MacGyver-minded officer saves toddler from bottom of 10-foot hole with makeshift catch pole. All right, taking a quick break. Coming back here, more with attorney Frank Miranda. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. Please make sure to send him all of your real estate deals and subscribe to the Consumer Quarterback Show podcast on iTunes and Spotify, or check out our YouTube channel. Have a blessed day.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 727-263-3707. Online at consumerqb.com.
Hey, Brandon BRimes here for AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com. My wife and I shifted a lot of our buying habits, and we wanted to support companies that support our values, patriotic, Christian, conservative companies. And you can find that online at AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com. Now, what you're doing is you're not spending any new money. You're simply buying a lot of the common purchases that you're buying every month for the kitchen, the bathroom, your shampoos, your laundry detergent, all types of great essential oils, vitamins, herbs, those types of products. And for you beef lovers, we have great beef products as well. Tenderloin, sirloin steaks, grass-fed beef available as well. So check out AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com. And I'd love to talk to you if you have any questions about it. There's also business opportunity there for you as well. 813-917-1894. And thank you so much for supporting our company, AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com. By simply shifting some of your buying habits, you're going to help support like-minded people, like-minded companies, and that can support you as well.
Lindsay Rhymes here. My husband Brandon and I own the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams, and our team of seasoned agents is ready to help you buy, sell, invest, and love the life you live here in Tampa Bay. Communication, execution, customer service, and bulletproofing transactions are really where our team shines. We service Hillsborough, Pinellas, Manatee, Pasco, Hernando, and Citrus counties, and we have seasoned agents in residential, luxury land, and commercial divisions. Reach out to us, your Christian realtors, and let us help empower you with the right knowledge to make smart decisions with your next transaction. Call us at 727-263-3707 today. Again, that number is 727-263-3707.
Selling commercial, vacant land, or residential properties? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon BRimes. You can reach me at 727-263-3707. Call or text 727-263-3707. Online at consumerqb.com.
You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon BRimes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Brandon BRimes here in studio with attorney Frank Miranda, Consumer Quarterback Show powered by the Platinum MVP team, featuring our real estate listings always, helping our sellers sell faster for more money. 5198 40th Street. This one's in beautiful Pinellas County, St. Petersburg. 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage, 3,000 square foot, beautifully remodeled home, close to the Tiki Docks and the Skyway Bar down near the Gulf Beaches as well. Downtown St. Pete, close to the beach, completely remodeled, mostly remodeled property here at 5198 40th Street South, St. Petersburg, Florida. Great opportunity to invest in real estate. All right, 5402 US Highway 92. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a bar for sale. Anybody wants to go into the bar business, here you go. Plant City will get you all set up. 5402 West US Highway 92, 1,700 plus square feet, 0.29 acre lot, commercial zoning. It's a successful bar with cash flow. This is a cash cow. The owner tells me this is a cash cow, lots of cash coming through this property. Jukebox, pool tables, all comes with it. Website, established business online. 5402 US Highway 92, Plant City. You can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, every day we like to tell you something good here.
Tell me something good.
All right, in Kansas, a quick-thinking Mound Ridge Police Department officer saved a 14-month-old toddler named Bentley from the bottom of a 10-foot drain pipe using a makeshift catch pole. The child had fallen into a 12-inch pipe, PVC pipe. His parents called 911 in desperation. Officer Ronnie Wagner devised a plan using a long, thin section of PVC, threading a rope through it to create a loop. This tool, typically used by animal control officers, successfully lifted Bentley to safety after a 10 to 20-minute ordeal. The police department praised the swift and effective actions of all first responders involved in the rescue. There you have it. MacGyver back, reincarnated in the likes of this officer. I love those feel good stories, Frank. Those are fun, man.
Yeah, they're fantastic. And for those people that are too young to know who MacGyver is, the reference, it was a TV show about a guy who would just make all these what would you say, problem-solving tools and gadgets in every little scenario he got in, so he could escape.
He didn't believe in violence, so he always used science to solve the problem. Whatever. Did you recognize it? Like, he never pulled a gun ever on the show.
I thought that was a pretty good show.
Yeah, it was awesome, amazing.
It was really great.
Very unique.
If you give MacGyver some duct tape, a couple paper clips,
an avocado,
a straw,
battery,
yeah, exactly, a battery, and then man, he's going to create a diversion, and they're going to go the other way. Oh, man, what a great show, MacGyver. Shout out. So you can pull, that's what's great, too, about the technology today. You can pull those episodes up, man.
It can be used for some good things, and that's good. A little nostalgia run is always good.
Yeah,
that's
cool.
With that.
Better days.
Yeah, good call. Then.
Yeah.
I pulled up Airwolf the other day.
I love Airwolf, man. I always liked the Airwolf better than Knight Rider. I was an Airwolf guy.
Knight
Remember
Rider?
Airwolf? It was the helicopter. It was like Knight Rider and a helicopter.
I never got into that show. No.
Yeah, we got to have a nostalgia day. We're going to go out and we'll all look up some old stuff.
You know what's better now, too, in the reruns is watching Seinfeld. Oh my God, it's funnier now than when they first wrote it.
It's timeless.
Exactly.
It's timeless.
It really is. And then let's see. So we were going to talk about. Okay, so you also, Frank, you're an attorney. You do real estate law. and real estate closings. Shout out to Stephanie over there. She's awesome too, by the way. Does a great job. Cedric Jackson for Life Management. You're in the NFL now, man. You're working with NFL athletes. That's got to be great. Really exciting, and football season's already here.
Yeah, it's completely different. It's just very exciting. In fact, off air, I was telling you that Friday I'm flying to Cincinnati, and ironically, they're playing the Buccaneers this preseason show. So Cedric's number 12. So a little shout out. Hopefully, has a great game and makes the roster full time this year. And he's got a tremendous upside. I mean, he's the fastest guy on the team. He runs legitimately high 4.2.
Wow.
And while T. Higgins and Chase are one of the two best wide receivers in the NFL, they've been sitting out. And so he's getting a lot more reps, and he can certainly take the top off the defense. And so we're going to go see him this weekend. He's a great young man.
Wow.
Great-looking guy, smart, considerate, volunteers time with kids. And, we wish nothing but the best for him. He's a great young man.
Where's he from?
He's from just outside of Birmingham, Alabama.
Okay.
And he played at Auburn.
Okay.
So, he's used to the SEC rigmaroles, and he's really held his own and done a really good job.
Yeah, you come out of the SEC, that says something there, and it's a lot of talent there. The speed, of course.
Yeah, it's the closest you can get, right?
Yeah, exactly, close you can get. So, for Life Management, what are you doing there with other athletes? Tell us a little bit about the niche.
Yeah, so fortunately we've signed 3 guys, and I think that puts us in the top 1% of agencies that started a year ago or so, and our message is a little bit. It's simplistic but unique, and we're all about financial responsibility. We're all about being good citizens. We're all about being available to the community and doing community service, and we're all about just doing the right thing. And so we guide these young men and help them, give them some advice. I mean, not financial planning advice, but sound advice where don't have high interest credit cards, don't pay high interest on your car loans, pay off some debt. Simple things that most people have heard throughout their whole life. We just reinforce those messages, and we follow up with them. We put them with the professionals, and meaning financial professionals, and God forbid if they need any type of medical service or they need any type of second opinion, we have those doctors available to them, because fortunately our connections in Tampa run deep. And listen, it's a completely wild business. We can sit here and have hours worth of shows based upon what I've seen already. And we also have, we're fortunate enough to have the starting safety of Florida State for 4 years, Akeem Dent, playing with the Chargers right now. And, fortunately, he's having a good camp. He had a pick 6 yesterday at camp.
Nice.
And, I think they're all really good young men who are focused on the athlete that I think most Americans, want to live up to, right, or look up to. They're both – no one's a troublemaker. No one's out there going to bars. No one's being an ass. And we keep on them and remind them to just do the right thing.
Here's a little advice for them. If they're going to go negotiate a new car, a new deal, bring Frank Miranda with you. There you go. Bring attorney Frank Miranda. Let him do some negotiation.
Well, our guys from the Titans, it's funny. He negotiated his own deal because they signed an all-pro safety, and he sold his number to him.
Oh, wow. Nice.
So
negotiated his own deal.
He negotiated that. I'm like,
man.
I'm proud of you.
Oh, man. Frank Miranda in the house. Always a good conversation. Reach out to the show. Reach out to Frank. FCMlaw.com. We'd love to connect you. FCM Law, FrankCharlesMirandaLaw.com. Frank, thanks for coming in, man.
Hey, thanks for having me.
My pleasure. All right, another great show. I want to thank our expert contributors, our producers, everybody behind the scenes working on the show. And please support the local economy by supporting the Consumer Quarterback Show. Go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another. Be a force for good in the community. We'll see you next time.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes. Whether it's